Hello guys and welcome to the ProDota Cup series, the SEA region specifically, where we are watching a best of two between Nasty Potatoes and Geek Fam. My name is DSwordfish, I will be your caster for today, and let's get right into the match, shall we? Because we've already seen one match for this best of two, where Nasty Potatoes were actually against the ropes for most of the match. However, they managed to come back against Geek Fam's lineup after some, constant back and forth between both teams, and a couple team fights that didn't go too well for Geek Fam. And with that, Nasty Potatoes managed to make the comeback, rise like the Phoenix, and take them down. That said, we are now in game number 2 of this beautiful ProDota Cup series. Let's see what the teams have for us today. In Nasty Potatoes draft, we have the Lena, the Ursa, the Slaughter, and the Weaver Bandal, picking up the Abaddon, the Crystal Maiden, and the Ricky. Interesting. Geek Fam batting out the Monkey King, the Dream Protector, the Shadow Fiend, and the Nyx Assassin, and they pick up the Warlock and the Ember Spirit. Just one second. Okay. And with this Geek Fam, and their third pick is going to be a Timbersaw, apparently, for them. Okay, an off-lane Timbersaw is going to work. Nasty Potatoes with their fourth pick. Let's see what they have for now. Crystal Maiden and Ricky. Much more of a ganking duo than last time for Nasty Potatoes, but the Crystal Maiden works much better. Obviously, you don't have the power of being able to have a... Well, you have two supports and whatnot, which is nice, but you don't have the power of having a Trip Protector for the extra sustained healing. However, the smoke screen is great for stopping people like Ember or Timbersaw and whatnot. It's nice. The Abaddon is going to give you the healing regardless because of the Fondix Shield and his Mist Coil, which is great for Nasty Potatoes, as you now have a fourth person or a fifth person. Maybe a carry with a bit of sustained. Juggernaut would not be a bad idea, honestly, for Nasty Potatoes again. If you want to go for something that has mainly physical damage to go against the Ember Spirit, the Lifestealer is an option. The Weaver would have been great for them as well. And for mid heroes, probably, honestly, the Death Prophet is looking really good for what Geek Fam or for what Nasty Potatoes are running. But it seems like a bit of a stretch to go for Death Prophet. Puck seems like a bad idea. Even though he has silence for the Timbersaw and the Ember Spirit, he's going to be killed easily. And instead they're going to go for the Outworld Devourer, a hero that destroys Timbersaw because of his pure damage, so he's wonderful against him. Does not struggle too much against the Ember Spirit. Usually the Flame Guard is annoying to deal with, but your pure damage goes through it if you need to kill him. And your Astral Imprisonment can take it in the early levels, so he doesn't have that much lane harassment against you. And Outworld Devourer pick is quite good. You can even combine it with some sort of buffer like a Drow Ranger or a Vengeful Spirit, most likely the Vengeful Spirit side, and you have a decent lineup on Nasty Potatoes with a bit of pushing power as well. Since you already have the Abaddon being your tertiary carry, position 3 with Midas and Radiance, you can go for something that's a bit less position 1-y, a little bit less hard carry-ish by saying a Vengeful Spirit, for example. Even a Slark would work out here. The Slark is a bit weak against the Timbersaw, but besides that, he'd be quite happy. Though I wouldn't suggest a Slug for Nasty Potatoes. The Sand King for Geek Fam is nice. It works with the Warlock well in the terms of team fight potential. You go in with the Sand King first, then you drop with the Golem. That's good for them. But and then with the Timbersaw, obviously you have a good combination of magical and pure damage. So that works out for Geek Fam. However, Nasty Potatoes can still have a carry that could just completely obliterate that. A Lifestealer, again, looks like a promising option. They banned themselves the Juggernaut. That was the other option I was going to suggest for Nasty Potatoes. Geek Fam themselves need a carry, and they have purely magical and physical damage, or magical and pure damage right now, or a combination of both, but a good amount of team fight. So a carry that could take advantage of that would be appreciated. A Juggernaut, for example, would have been a great option. A Gyrocopter comes to mind for the guys at Geek Fam that I don't think so. A Spectre is probably my thoughts for Geek Fam. Even though Outworld Devourer deals well with illusions, you deal extra damage to illusions. You don't actually kill them automatically, and illusions have dispersion. So the extra damage is gonna harm you more than you think. And with proper usage of the Haunt, you can keep all your illusions alive just by playing a proper Spectre. So yeah, Spectre would not be bad. It gets a bit kited by Outworld Devourer, but Abaddon cannot dispel her Spectral Dagger, and it works well with your lineup of kind of almost a global strategy with Ember Spirit and Timbersaw being able to get solo kills constantly, and then a Haunt to help them out. Yeah, that works out for you. Let's see what Geek Fam bans out, though. With their 5th ban, this will tell more about what they're going to pick rather than what they don't want to see at this point, because Nasty Potatoes is a pretty open lineup. Again, if you're just going purely for the lineup, maybe that Lifestealer seems like the best ban, because you have a lot of magical damage. You rely on that a lot in the early game. So Playing out the Lifestealer. The Luna's their option. Okay, the Luna goes for BKB, so it's a similar option, similar idea. And they're gonna go for a Bristleback as their carry. Okay. Or maybe Bristleback offlane Timbersaw carry, one of the two. Let's see what Nasty Potatoes pick up. They could have gone for a Bristleback themselves actually, with the Crystal Maiden and the Outworld Devourer. Bristleback is quite good, especially at the early game. But we'll see. We'll see what Nasty Potatoes decide to go for. I guess the Bristleback, the Lifestealer seems like such a good option though, because he rarely goes for armor. Most Vanguard, but the physical damage is great. You have open wounds to slow him down, which is also fantastic. You can stop most of the damage from Geek Fam's team anyway. You could also go for the Urs. No, Urs is banned. The Urs and Weaver seem like particularly good options against the Bristleback, but they've both been banned, so that's not a possibility. The Luna wouldn't have been good against Bristleback, to be honest. Something with Silver Edge as well, Troll Warlord. A Troll Warlord comes to mind as something that could be useful against both Ember Spirit and Bristleback. In fact, Troll Warlord seems really good now that I think about it. It goes for BKB and Silver Edge is pretty much safe. Now they just pick up like a Morphling or a Gyrocopter, like I was saying earlier, and then boom.
Tinker!
Okay. Alright. That's pretty good. Usually I don't like when they do this weird thing where they're like, oh, you know, we're going to put the Outworld Devourer as a carry or something like that. When they value mids a bit too much, especially in this current meta. But... no, actually I like this quite a lot. It's pretty good, honestly, because you have mostly magical and physical damage from the Outworld Devourer and Tinker, which is hard to deal with if you're both Timbersaw and Ember Spirit, especially the pure damage. The amount of pure damage they have against the Ember Spirit is fantastic. Much more lane domination from the Tinker, and the Tinker doesn't suffer against the Ember Spirit because their heat-seeking missiles are much better than his annoying Flame Guard. You can, in worst case, you can rearm much of the machines, and since he's a melee hero, he's going to get crushed anyway. Bristleback is not going to be too effective this game. Oh, they're running Bristleback. Psionic support? Okay. The Bristleback is not going to be too effective this game because his Warpath completely nullified. Okay, that makes much more sense. By the Tinker's Laser. And, of course, you also have the Abaddon to help both of these heroes out. Usually they're heroes that rely a lot on team fight and whatnot, but you have a great freezing field from the Crystal Maiden to use a bit of zone out. Since both Outworld Devourer and Tinker have an insane range, you don't have much of an issue with that. So create a freezing field for zone out, and then just attack from it. And then on top of that, you have the Astral Imprisonment, plus the help from the Abaddon's Aphotic Shield to keep yourself alive. Yeah, nice draft by Nasty Potatoes. That Bristleback carry doesn't seem too convincing on Psionics, if I'm perfectly honest. Sorry, I forgot to take this out by the ninja picks, so you couldn't watch the beautiful... but it's fine. Nasty Potatoes getting into the game, already setting up to their lanes. The only thing that you do need to take into consideration is that the Outworld Devourer is probably going to giving a solo lane. That's the idea behind the Crystal Maiden Ricky. The Crystal Maiden goes into the jungle, and Ricky obviously just roams around. That's the point. But that means that the ganking of the Outworld Devourer becomes quite easy. He has a long lane. Ganking him in the middle lane is hard because the Astral Imprisonment gives him a ridiculous amount of time for TPs to come along. But if you are, say, here, or around this area, right, for example, as the Outworld Devourer, they decide to just go on to you, you can't do much with the Astral Imprisonment, and the TPs won't come in time. And they don't have, there's no Dazzle or Witch Doctor healing TP, essentially, or Omni Knight that can just save you in the last second. The Abaddon will be forced to TP, and that's not the best of TPs early on, because he's more used to being a lane dominator. So it's going to be a hard lane for, not necessarily a hard lane for the Outworld Devourer, but definitely not the easiest of games, especially if the enemy team, in this case Geek Fam, realizes the chink in Nasty Potatoes' armor. Armor referring to their draft. That said, guys, let's present the teams real quick before they start hitting each other. My name is DSwordfish. I will be your caster for today, and let's get right to it, shall we? Teehee will be the Ember Spirit in the mid position as the carry Psionics, played by Bristleback. A Sanking from Raji in the support position, second support being the Warlock, played by 10-10-10, and then finally Velo as the Timbersaw in the off-lane position. As for Nasty Potatoes on the Dire side, we're going to have Ponlo as the Tinker in the mid lane, Abaddon played by Death Sama in the off-lane position, the two supports being Crimson on the Crystal Maiden and the Ricky Maru played by Eden. And finally, he's going to have a hard time against Bristleback, by the way. And finally, the Outworld Devourer in the carry position, played by TMT. Right. that Ricky is going to have a really hard time against Bristleback. I didn't even consider that, but Bristleback, with a smoke screen, I guess he suffers quite a lot because he likes hitting and he doesn't have the best movement speed in the world, and obviously not being able to cast spells just takes the stacks out of Warpath. But at the same time, having to deal with a Bristleback while you want to hit everyone from behind, sorry, and you have no way actually of stopping him or ensuring that you can hit him from the front either. So the rest of his team is not particularly good at killing the Bristleback, and you aren't either. And you usually rely on Ricky's damage to catch off Scragglers. That's not gonna happen this game. This top lane, I like that they rotated the Warlock there. It's similar to the Legion Commander plus Warlock lane, except this one's a bit more effective as the game goes on, and a bit weaker in the early stages of the game, because the Timber won't have much reactive armor stacks, if any at all, because he's allowed to go for Willing Death level 1. That's fine. And instead, you'll have to rely a bit more on coming to the level 3, level 4 once the Timbersaw gets his levels. The only issue is that the Warlock shouldn't be here now. He should be down bottom and then join him. And then they can have the lane domination I'm looking for. Granted, giving Whirling Death to your Timbersaw is okay because you have that healing from the Shadow Word, but you rather have it in the bottom lane and just harass the Abaddon a bit. Or not the Abaddon, sorry. Put it on the Bristleback and help him out. That's why they're probably not in the bottom lane either, because the Shadow Word can be dispelled by the Aphotic Shield, and you don't want to deal with that. Look at that laser, it's so annoying. Yeah, Pawnless going to win this lane against Teehee. As long as they don't force any support rotations, as long as they make it so that supports have to stay in the side lanes for Geek Time's team, then they're fine, because that's the only way they can really kill this Tinker. The Tinker should win in the lane no matter what. The Searing Chains could prove a problem later on, but yeah, he's already going for a... Oh, I like it. I don't know what build I'm going to go for. Maybe it's Heat-Seeking Missile build, maybe it's Laser build. Worst case scenario, it's a 1-1-3, so I can at least dispel that annoying Flame Guard, and that's entirely the way to think about it. You want to dispel that immediately. Even with 2 levels of Flame Guard, you actually kill it with a Heat-Seeking Missile. I believe, yeah, it should be Heat-Seeking Missile level 2 that actually kills level 2 Flame Guard. Oh, okay, here comes the Ricky though. Cloak and Dagger and Poison Orb not enough. Searing Chains catches the Ricky. They know that he's here. That's why. That's why I say Cloak and Dagger not enough, because the Sentry catches you out. And the Poison Orb is not that great for killing people. You really want to get the Smoke Screen. Or at least a Blink Strike so you can follow someone through. And even so, the Ember does suffer a lot against physical damage because of his low armor, but not the easiest target to kill either, because he does have the Flame Guard to take away a lot of your damage, and Ricky's particularly good against someone that likes to play aggressively, not someone that's losing the game lane. Ricky can make a losing lane win, not a winning lane lose. Or, sorry, not a winning lane win more. He's not particularly a win more character. That's more of an Earth Spirit, for example, or an Ogre Magi, etc., etc. Ricky isn't out for that kind of lane presence, unfortunately. He needs to go to the gym more often, have a bigger figure, offer more presence. For now, actually, the matchup between Ponlo and Teehee is quite equal. Nothing much has happened, or not much has happened to destabilize the matchup. It's 16-12 last hit. The Tinker is as farmed as the Timber is in the top lane, more or less. Actually, one last hit above him, considering how the lanes are working and whatnot. Yeah, because now he should get the Catapult lane. Oh, no, maybe not. Not entirely certain. Oh well. Regardless, the Tinker should be still being the Ember. Oh, Frostbite, they catch him. He's taking missiles, take away the Flame Guard. They know where Teehee is. No March of the Machines available. The creeps see him though. And one more last hit from Crimson will do the trick. Oh, good Sleight of Fist, almost killing Ponlo. Ponlo taking quite a bit of damage from the tower. Might just go down to the tower. Still has the Fairy Fire. Won't need to eat it as they have a Shrine available. And they've already taken the kill on the Ember Spirit in due time. The Tsanky comes in the middle lane with an invisibility rune. They know they have a sentry, so they see Raji right now. And Ricky's just staying around, getting some of the experience, and waiting for that sentry to be dispelled. Yep, so that he can leave again. They just wait. I think all they do is wait till the enemy team, puts on a sentry. Ricky leaves, takes experience from the other lane. You wasted the sentry already. You'll come back later and eat it if he needs it. That's it. I'll tell you play the Ricky in the middle lane. Oh, Psionics has taken a lot of damage from Death Sama, but at the same time, his Bristleback makes it impossible to kill him. And Death Sama's already taken 4 stacks of that Quill Spray. Usually, with the help of the Crystal Maiden Aura, you'd be set as Abaddon and you would dominate the lane. But against the Bristleback, it's a bit harder. Yeah, they go for Magic Stick. Oh, they're gonna go on Bristleback anyway, though. The Cloak and Dagger not dealing too much damage because of the Bristleback. It's counterproductive, and those Quills are gonna spray all over the place and kill the Abaddon eventually. Eden is 1 hit away. Why did he turn? Trying to get that last auto attack attack onto Eden, but won't manage to get enough damage. The Burst Strike is available. Eden has now turned invisible. They have a dust. They do see him with his cloak and dagger. He is quite movable. With a blink strike as well, makes it very hard to get that kill. That's going to be an Abaddon for a Bristleback. Definitely worth it if you're the guys nasty potatoes. Has just got a kill on the enemy carry just for your offlaner, frankly. And look at the difference as well between the carries. The Bristleback is as farmed as the OD is. Sorry, is as farmed as the... What am I saying? Is less farmed than the OD is, and actually less farmed than the Abaddon as well. Oh, the Frostbite was wasted there by using the Astral Imprisonment, but the Crystal Nova is still available. 10-10 taking a lot of damage. One last illusory, or one last Arcane Orb, and he will go down there. Taking enough damage, enough pure damage to kill a truck. But in that case, the Warlock had so much healing that he lasted for a long time. Psionics, careful. Starting to use his Quill Sprays. The Curse of Avernus. Oh, that Aphotic Shield. Okay. It's just going to deal a bit of harassment damage, but he knows that those Quill Sprays are going to be the death of him, so he has to stay away from him. Oh, even more Quill Sprays. Don't attack at Deathsama. Take the last hit. Take the last hit. Jesus Christ. Take the last hit and leave. Oh, right. Raji's coming from behind. That explains it. Has to use the Aphotic Shield soon. Raji will find him with a stun, and he's almost dead. One more Quill Spray. He's dead now. So, I mean, fighting against a Bristleback early on is quite hard, and even with a Vanguard available. Now the Cloak and Dagger is level 2 for Ricky. Interesting. Instead of maxing Smokescreen, which is that will. I'd max Smokescreen when you're up against the Bristleback. Cloak and Dagger is not as useful, especially when you're up against Bristleback and Timbersaw. In this bottom lane, oh, he gets a kill against Pondo in the top lane, but they still want to go on to Psionics. He's in a TP, and it should be fine. They actually can't reach him in time. Jesus Christ. He knew that Ricky was coming, but he knew it has no stuns. And since the Abaddon has no stuns, I mean, the amount of stuns they have is limited into 2 heroes, really. That Crystal May and the Outworld Devourer. And his stun doesn't even count as a proper stun. So, that a Storm Pick, for example, would have been really good, but apparently Bristleback works as well. I mean, it's not like they have slows either. The Curse of Avernus is a slow for the Abaddon, but that's it. And the slow from the Crystal Nova and the Smokescreen, but it's not that useful. As opposed to having, obviously, a stun. Or a slow like Venomancer, for example. Available. Careful. Oh, no. Yeah, and TMT has to be careful. He's out of trees. He's trying to go farther away into the jungle. Or into the tree jungle. Waiting for the trees to be cut. Has more space now. Sanity's Eclipse still available. Could use it at the end, but... Honestly, with only level 1 Arcane Orb, that was a guaranteed kill on VOD. He could have tried to TP, but that was impossible to accomplish. Anyway, and they get another kill for Nasty, or for Geek Fam. They're really trying to get this game number 2. This game number 2 ensures that they get a tie, which to them is insanely important. Velo also finds Crimson. Why, will you ask? Because this is the first performance they're going to have in this whole tournament. You start the whole tournament with a 2-0 or 0-2 from one of the supposedly not the strongest teams. It's not MVP Revolution. It's not... I guess Execration doesn't really count as one of the stronger teams, but it's not MVP Revolution, essentially. You can only get 2-0 by MVP Revolution. Losing 1 game is not a big deal, but losing 2, ooh, that starts to weigh in your psyche. That's not how this works, Psionics. You actually have to face... Or you actually have to... When the Aphotic Shield pops, you have to have your back turned from the Abaddon, not from the creep itself. I know, it's a weird thing, but that's actually how you play Bristleback. Oh, Eden, careful with the Phase Boots and the Smokescreen. It would be a nice kill on Velo, however. Yeah, they don't seem to be too interested. They just want to farm a bit on the OD. I wonder if they're going to go for Midas on the OD, hopefully. He seems to go for Veil on Discord first, which is not bad because you do amplify damage from the Tinker, the Crystal Maiden, and the Abaddon. You don't damage doesn't get amplified too much, but the stats are okay. It's weird that you would go for that build, though, and only get 2 levels of Astral Imprisonment at first and just not max it, as opposed to the maxing the Essence Sword. But oh well. Pondo going to be targeted on the middle lane. March of the Machine's been used. He's trying to heal up. The Fairy Fire will actually keep him up and alive. And with the help of the 2 supports, they get 1 kill in the Sanking, and now the second one onto Tiki is only seconds away from happening. 1 Blink Strike from Eden, and this will be a guaranteed kill, but Tiki is way too quick with those remnants. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Psionics is taking a good amount of beating from Deathsama. He just tries to kill his Quill Space attacks and go back in and try again. After all, with the Magic Stick, it's so easy to just attack Psionics. There's the Quill Space stack starting to stack again. Doesn't really care too much about it, apparently. Lose the Aphotic Shield in seconds. Look at that, harassment does nothing, even though the Aphotic Shield does do a decent amount of damage. But the Magic Stick ensures that the Photic Shield is pretty much endless. And the top lane, oh, Crimson is suffering quite a lot. No, it's actually Velo who's the target of aggression. Cyanide Eclipse will finish him off. The Burst Strike, though, will catch out the Crystal Maiden. In comes Ricky to help. The smoke screen only puts Raji in a difficult position for like half a second as he now evades. It's Sandstorm to escape, and Eden wants this kill, but with the Phase Boots alone, he won't be able to get it. So in the end, it's going to be a Timbersaw for Crystal Maiden. Who wins that engagement? Definitely Nasty Potatoes. So happy with that trade. And with available Discord now, they'll be able to even deal much more damage to this Timbersaw and to kill him in seconds. On it. The Cyanide Eclipse is wasted there, but it's certainly worth it. The Astral Imprisonment is already level 4, so the available Discord will have full impact exactly as they wanted to. And now in this middle lane, as you can see, Teehee is being searched out, or at least scouted out by the Tinker. They're by the Ricky. They're ready to go on him if they choose to do so. This bottom lane is just this constant back and forth. Oh, Raji in the top lane actually gets a kill onto 10-10-10, onto TMT, but 10-10-10 also dies. And the freezing field that almost kills off the Timbersaw. Bonlo is ready to avenge his dead teammate. They did a trail boot onto the creeps, and they even give him vision. This is pretty much perfect for him. As he travels back, they will have to kill the creeps really quickly. Kill that creep, kill that creep. Oh, no. No need for it. The poison orb will just finish him off. Oh, does he have poison orb? Oh, interesting. No, Teehee in the middle lane trying to take the tower. Luckily, the catapult will take it for him. I was going to say that was a bit risky considering that you can just deny it, but at the same time, the catapult is there, and the catapult can just take it as freely. Anyway. However, if you look at the net worth right now, you'll see that it's slowly inclining towards the guys in Nasty Potatoes. 2,000 advantage for them. It's just a couple kills that they're getting that's more advantageous, especially those kills on the Timbersaw. Raji, careful, he's being selected. And subsequently destroyed. Yeah, nothing. Once the Frostbite came out, he was dead. Silence is trying to counter kill someone. And Crimson might be a perfect target. Crystal Nova. Oh, never mind. He's actually been a Photic shielded. That's going to give him the extra breath of life he needed. And I'm trying to go on Psionics, but Psionics is so hard to kill. Those Quill Sprays are not coming out right now as he knows that Death Salmon will just heal back up from them. He has to retreat. He has way too many stacks onto him. And with this, it does seem like Geek Fam will not be losing their Bristleback, but they do lose their Sanking in the process of not really a gank, more like I'm gonna try to help you out. You hear that? Oh, oh, nice. Bring down, drop the base, drop the base. Oh. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Make sure that we can all hear in the map. I can hear it. Jeez. What is? Wait, I just saw a Midas, right? No, that's Boots of Travel. I was gonna say. Okay, Midas, not on the OD either. Who went for a very weird build with a hood? I guess it's a casual hood of Defiance, just so you can counter the Timbersaw's damage to some degree, which is not a bad idea, honestly. So I'm down with that. In comes the Tinker. TP's a rearm. Available. Oh, Astral Imprisonment. Catches out everyone. Onyx, I think I'm going to Death Summon. That's sometimes they heal him up by hitting him from behind. But however, those Quill Sprays still stack anyway, even if you are hit by the Burrow type. So you have to be careful once you're done with it. Oh no, Teehee will find out Will Devourer. He has to use the Astral Imprisonment. The Veil Discord ready, but they're getting ready to drop the base as well. Where's the Golem? Not yet used. The Epicenter already used. They're coming into TMT. They finally drop the base just to stop the freezing field from happening. But Eden, with the tricks of the trade, will get a bit more time, and the Astral Imprisonment will save TMT's life. Now the laser to finish off the Timbersaw. He got decimated there with the Outworld Devourer still alive, the Crixalis and the Timbersaw both dead. That is a completely favorable team fight to the guys in Nasty Potatoes who countered that completely. I mean, what? Dropping the base did nothing there, only stopping the freezing field, and really wasn't too big a deal. And TMT getting those 10 seconds of team fight thanks to the help of the rest of his team, especially that Ricky and the Crystal Maiden, by annoying what was left from Nasty Potatoes. Sorry, was left with Geek Fam. Also, more importantly, Geek Fam not committing entirely to it. Using the Golem at the beginning would have helped much more for the extra damage that it brings, because the Golem does bring a lot of damage in the early game. And with the stuns that you have, it's pretty much set. But sadly, it didn't happen this game, as they didn't commit fully at the beginning. Then once they did, it was a bit too late. They didn't use the extra damage of the Golem too well. For those Russian asking, what is language? English, my friend. English. And okay, Tihi, they give him the boot of travel, so that means that he's going to have much more mobility. Careful, because the Psionics is playing with fire here. The nasal boot does nothing to an Abaddon. Now, with the Veil of Discord, Psionics is taking a considerable amount of damage. That's Sama, he has to use the borrowed time. Crimson is a world of hurt. He's actually about to die. He needs some help, but those Fatal Bonds are not helping him whatsoever. They do kill the Ember Spirit, though, finally, thanks to the help of the Tricks of the Trade, and they're now going on to Psionics, but Psionics is way too tanky right now. They're just going to let him go. Well, Crimson is just thanking the heavens that he's still alive. Jesus, Death Sama just went in with the Death Wish, and it was hit by Fatal Bonds, and he just hated that. Okay, they know Tintin's here. The March of the Machines will start coming by. Tintin's like, oh no, oh no, the robots, they burn my skin. But he's gonna Shadow Word himself back up, so it's like he's using a special cream to ensure his skin is okay. Oh, and Veil Discord hit him. Now he notices. He knows that someone knows he's there. There it is. Easy kill onto the Warlock, and that's a tier 1, also being taken by Nasty Potatoes. Good stuff, Nasty Potatoes. They're actually taking this early game by the... I mean, they're just completely controlling the early game and the tempo specifically. Just by using better rotations, I would say, and a really good usage of the Abaddon. And the Bristleback, they're punishing the fact that he's more of a laning carry than he is a ganking carry. His ganking ability, especially against an Abaddon, is quite weak because you rely a lot on the nasal goo, and that can be dispelled. Tinker, wow, managed to deny, blink the last second. Velo can't find him, and TP's away. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Death Sama is now being targeted by the Bristleback. But like we said, not too powerful against an Abaddon. And he wants to regain some health using those Ghost Spray stacks, but he's being way smart about it. Those heat-seeking missiles will come out down the laser. And Death Sama's ready to die for this. He's ready, and he will do so, but the Bristleback will die together with him. That's exactly what they were looking for. As the Ricky, now going on to the Sand King, trying to slow him down, will manage to do so in time to kill him. As Nasty Potatoes decide to go for this tier 3 down, or tier 2 down bottom. With this, that's guaranteed tier 3 going down to the Nasty Potato side. And, oh, maybe not guaranteed. This could actually still defend this completely. But Velos doesn't seem too interested. He's trying to get his Bloodstone. It's already pretty late. He couldn't even go for the or he went for the Arcane Boots early on. And now he's trying to finalize the Bloodstone. It's not going to be too late. I mean, within the 17-18 minute realm, it's fine. But obviously, you want to get it 15-16 minutes in. You were technically an off-lane Timbersaw, so I guess it's fine because you're not position 4. But it is the position 1, sorry. But it is the Bristleback who's going to be position 1. And he's going to be played with Solar Crest again. The build has been pretty effective, but against an Outworld Devourer, he might just punish you with his pure damage regardless. Because you only use the evasion, but you don't use the armor as well. That March of the Machines is pretty well made, but because it just attacks the Bristleback before... How does it hit the Ancients though, so... Doesn't help him farm. But Sonics doesn't really care right now. He's gonna take the Ancients regardless with the Quill Sprays. He has a lot of damage. He's trying to, even just trying to steal some experience. Very smart of him. On the bottom lane, they actually get a kill onto Velo. I didn't even notice that. In they go. TMT just getting that kill quickly. And the top lane, they do manage to kill off the Ricky. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me and missing the kills? Ricky was having experience and he got punished for it, but it's fine. Ricky dying is not as big a deal as the Timbersaw dying, especially because his Bloodstone is going to be delayed. I guess killing him once his Bloodstone's on would be even worse because you would have to recover the charges, and there's no way of doing that besides with the obvious kills onto the enemy team. So maybe it's a difficult thing. I don't think you wait till you get the Bloodstone because it makes it hard to kill. Rogers is that to the March of the Machines here, and Paulo knows it, so he's going to let him do this. Do your thing, my friend. You don't have a blink dagger. You can burst strike if you want, but won't heat-seeking missiles. You in fact, yeah, heat-seeking missiles. There it is. Exactly what I said. Easy to do, honestly. Whereas this Sama's being targeted in the top lane. There's a Solar Crest coming off to him. Can't steal the Bounty Rune. He's been able to TP away. Should be able to TP away in time. Even with the Viscous Nasal Ghoul taking away most of his armor, he has the Burrow Diamond. That means that he's just endlessly tanky. Whereas the March of the Machine continues by Fondo to try to push out these lanes. It's very important against the Timbersaw to push out the lanes as much as you can. Venlo taking down the ward and finally getting that Bloodstone up on him. I mean, doesn't have it just yet, but he's gonna take it soon. I don't know how the Outworld Devourer died though. I think he just got targeted down here. Who killed him? Huh, Raji and Velo just killed him. Okay. Didn't really see that, frankly. I was watching top lane while they were harassing the Abaddon, and instead the Abaddon dies. Sorry, instead the Outworld Devourer dies. They were harassing the Abaddon, and guess who died? The Abaddon. Surprise. Alright, Bounty Runes up for everyone. I'm starting to think that more people are watching today just because of the new terrain, but whatever. 8 intelligence for the Tinker. It's pretty good. I mean, it was pretty good in the early game, honestly, because it gives you a lot of mana sustain. The armor is alright against the Bristleback, but at this point, if the Bristleback catches you, you're dead, so you have to just accept that. And if they go for more of a utility, what is going to be make me more useful for my team kind of build. Ooh, that base. That chaotic offering is just so, he's just so anxious about using it, but it's not, I mean, hasn't really done much this whole game. Yeah, they want to go for more team fights, but the team fights keep going completely in the way of Nasty Potatoes due to the tanky picks and some great positioning by the Outlaw Devourer. He just punished enemy team low, Sionis careful, asks for imprisonment to catch him. In comes the Timber Saw, catches Death Sama, and that's a lot of damage going on to him. But Velo's about to die. The Astro Imprisonment, no need for it. They already have the Arcade Orb. Finally, the base is dropped, but only to the Abaddon, who had to borrow time anyway. Death Sama should survive this, but the Fatal Bonds are destroying him, dispels it onto himself. Bonla wanted to get an extra kill onto the Blazer-back, and he will do so. Tinker has a TP away before the Ancients kill him, and he will do it in time as Nasty Potatoes lose 2, but in exchange for a core, the most important one, the Bristleback finally finishing him off, and obviously the Sanking as a present. That was a pretty good team fight by the Abaddon, especially. Again, a Golem that doesn't have too much impact because it's dropped in the middle of borrowed time. Then the Golem itself is not used for too much damage, which was unfortunately not too... I mean, it just wasn't that powerful for the guys at Geek Fam, and their team fight potential relies too much on the Warlock. The Timbersaw also being completely crushed in the beginning. It was actually 3. I didn't realize the Timbersaw died to the damage of the Arcane Orb. I did realize, but I forgot to mention it. As the Arcane Orb deals pure damage, completely nullifies the Timbersaw's damage and the impact in the team fight, and more importantly, takes away his mana. So that's what it does. It takes away his mana so that even if he wants to run away, he's actually dead. And look at the amount of damage they have onto Velo. The help from Psionics is more than necessary, but you don't want to fight this. Look at that Sama. He's really confident. There's a reason he's so confident. Now with the Assault Caress, he can deal with the Quill Spray much better, and the only issue he has is now with the Timbersaw. The Timbersaw we've already seen how weak he is. Crimson finds, or Ember Spirit finds Crimson, and it comes the help from the Tinker. Tiki, man, putting himself in a very difficult position. Crimson, in fact, is gonna survive as he kills the Ember Spear with a freezing field like a loud, icy cold fuck you to the Ember Spear, saying, "Who are you gonna burn? Nobody." As they get the very valuable kill onto the enemy mid-hero, who is actually really low on farm, beaten by the Abaddon. That's like worry. But Abaddon has Midas, so I guess it's understandable. Psionics still wanted to kill this Sama, but aware that there's borrowed time available, not going to commit too much, I don't suppose. That's the borrowed time used, dispels all the Viscous Nasal Goo as they use an Athletic Shield to help him out. Velo has put himself in the middle of the team fight. Ponlo's already ready for the amount of damage he has with the laser and the Aghanims. That's so much damage to the enemy team, but they're already going to kill the Outworld Devourer very soon, actually. Heat-seeking missiles start coming out. More lasers that refract, that rearm. Heat-seeking missiles number 2. Burst to stop that. They need to kill Raji in time. Great frostbite, and they managed to kill not only Raji but Velo with the same missile stack, with Death Sama getting the kill onto Psionics. Congratulations to Nasty Potatoes getting a team fight, turning a team fight that didn't seem too beneficial for them into a team fight that went fully beneficial for them. Very, very valuable game for Nasty Potatoes. Thanks to that Aghanims. That was a huge Aghanims pickup. Skipping the Aetherlens for the Aghanims in this game was a very wise choice. Seems like Geek Fam are gonna be much worse off than they used to be. Honestly, these guys were some of the top teams back in the SCA qualifiers for this region when they were in the major. And right now, Nasty Potatoes is coming back out of seemingly nowhere, just with the players of the Tinker. Ponlo apparently is not just one-trick pony that can play puck, he can play a bunch of heroes. That March of the Machines is way too much harassment for you to defend the Psionics, but he's still going in. The laser is also going to hurt you considerably, so you have to be careful. The March of the Machines just starts to blow down the creeps slowly. Aetherlens now on the Tinker, that's pretty good. Gonna be able to get a laser and a heat-seeking missiles up from farther away. Well, mainly the laser, but he's able to stand from farther away and still be effective, which is all that matters. Meanwhile, TMT, not going to find Raji or Velo, and they're going to go on to this Roshan. Great. That's actually pretty easy Roshan, thanks to the Solar Crest and the damage the Abaddon gives with the Curse of the Avernus. That, plus the damage the Outworld Devourer actually has, allows for a quick Roshan that it gives an Aegis to the Outworld Devourer, the only hero that's bound to die in this team and that you care about, honestly. The other ones either you don't care about because, you know, Crystal Maiden, honestly, do you care if she dies? No. Neither does the Abaddon or the Ricky, but you don't care. You do care that the Tinker dies. He's not gonna die. Neither does the Abaddon. That's the whole point. Oh, it's honest, carefully, solo test. Okay. Oh, that's the good push. Start pushing, much more important. Great laser refraction, by the way, trying to deal as much damage as he can to keep Psyonix at bay. Psyonix wants to go onto the Ricky. This could be an easy kill, but at the same time, it could be just a trap. Psyonix now activates the Shrine. A very early Shrine. Complete waste of that potential. And the March of the Machines will keep on coming out, making sure this lane stays pushed. With nobody being able to go in, meaning the Timbersaw, the Timbersaw just can only look at them from afar and use a Chakram at best. That's it. He's going for Blade Mill just to counter that annoying March of the Machines and the laser build. Well, however, whoa, is that the Sand King coming in? Great burst onto 3. This game turns it around. TMT has to Hurricane Bike himself away, and for now, nothing will happen. I got way too excited. Searing Chains though onto the Crystal Maiden. They could burn her. And there comes the Spirit Bomb, but they save her with the Astral Imprisonment. The Rock catching down 2. Death Sum has no burn time. The Science Eclipse appears a bit too early, but the Freezing Field destroys the 2 enemy cores. That Crystal Maiden with the Science Eclipse. Weak combination. Vela will also go down, and that's the 3 cores down for Geek Fam. Only taking the kill onto the Abaddon and to the Crystal Maiden. And from behind, the Tinker still wants to get the kill onto Raji. They might not have the vision, but they have a March of the Machines. Raji, where are you off to? He has to Magic Stick and save himself somehow, but he's trying to use the Sandstorm best he can to survive. You know, just biding his time, bid his time too much, ends up dying. Very weird death in the March of the Machines, but whatever, he couldn't really do much, he was dead anyway. And with that, they will continue to push this tower in the top lane. Tier 2 that goes down to TMT. Nasty Potatoes start to get a full domination in this game, where team fights, even a good team fight with a great initiation, with a fantastic Rock, with some very nice burrow strikes, gets destroyed by a proper Freezing Field and Sanity's Eclipse, and that's the issue. This Oddworld Devourer, as soon as he steals just a bit of intelligence, is so much more intelligent than both the Bristleback and the Ember Spirit. Heroes that have pretty poor intelligence gains. Actually, Bristleback has a pretty great one, 2.8, that's surprising. Sorry, the Ember Spirit does not have the best intelligence gain, 1.8. So you punish them quite heavily. And oh, what are you doing, Tihi? You have no remnants either. They could have punished you heavily there. Warlock also dies for Geek Fam. I actually didn't even see. I think he was just warding, and they punished him. And they hurt him for it. I gotta stop saying that word. Now, Vela with only 5 plus 7 charges is not as relevant anymore. He's trying to clear the way of trees so that nobody can hide in this part of the map. Very smart, as now the Tinker is not able to use his Tinker tactics. However, Tinker is so farmed that he can just go in front of him and kill him. Wow. I can't believe it just happened. From a Hurricane Pike, Vela almost died. And he stole so much intelligence as well. Look at the amount of damage he has now against this tower. Our World Devourer is ready to go, boys. TMT takes the tower down. And the net worth still going in their favor completely. No surprise there. Diffusal Blade on the Ricky, by the way, which gives him a bit of extra damage, not against the Bristleback, but makes him a bit more useful against the Timbersaw. Maybe we can see an Echo Saber Ricky as well. Not too bad of an idea. Meanwhile, oh god, the Tenten just died to a Hurricane Pike. There was nothing he could do there, because he stole a bit more intelligence, obviously, from the Bristleback earlier. But he died. He died to a Hurricane Pike. That was ridiculous. That's why Hurricane Pike is such a great item on OD. It even gives him intelligence. Like, can there be a better hero for Hurricane Pike? We're still trying to kill this Bristleback, though. The only issue with Psyonix is quite fast in the Warpath. He's just going to join his lane of creeps. Now, in the top lane, though, Eden's going to see him. He's going to go on to Tihi. And with the Tinker helping him out, this is an easy kill onto Tihi. With the smoke screen, there was no way he could leave. And he had a Remnant active, but couldn't use it because of that great usage of the smoke screen. Now, Ricky coming from the surprise and from the shadows. And with Diffusal Blade, gets an easy kill onto the Ember Spirit. This is another tier 2 that they're going to take. Actually, the last tier 2 they're going to take. And maybe even a tier 3. After all, they have an Aegis. They could utilize this a bit more efficiently. It should be a tier 3, actually. Completely. I mean, you even have that someone to help you with the Phonic Shield, so... Yeah, there it is. They're starting to go on. Where's the Tinker? No, from... Actually going to die to Vela. I cannot believe that. Tinker just died to the Blade Mill damage, I'm pretty sure. I wasn't even looking. I just saw the Tinker going low on health, but he thought, how could the Tinker possibly die when they just took down the Ember Spirit and they're going down to the towers? Oh, well, that's how they died. I mean, they seem pretty decided to keep on fighting anyway. The Tinker has no Bloodstone, so it's going to be quite long for him to come back. But they want to keep these lanes pushed, probably. No, there's the Abaddon leaving. Quick TP. And everyone Nasty Potatoes except for the Crystal Maiden will go back to safety. Crystal Maiden decided that she wants to join the Club of the Dead. Free entry for everyone that has low HP, and now a smoke gank by Geek Fam. Will this put them back into the game? Probably not, but it's going to give him a slight edge. This smoke gank could be effective with psionics coming in, solar crest, plus your nasal go, easy kills, right? Timbersaw could also recover some bloodstone charges, but that's not who they're joining in with the smoke. That's not what you're definitely a worst target to go on. It's a terrible idea. You guys bought on time. And solar crest. You can follow shield that. Where's the Tinker not helping him? Nobody's helping him. Huh, this someone just accepted death. Wow. Staying true to her name, that's something I like it. Tinker could have TP'd in here, lasered the heat-seeking missiles, and done some damage, but... well, it's just... we came back. I'm not entirely sure. This, a rearm from the Tinker. Travels back to base. And yeah, for now, it just seems like it's going to be more of a stable time where Geek is starting to show off that they can do some damage. The Maelstrom onto the Ember makes him more of a hybrid build, which I like. Gives him a little bit more relevance in the late game. And even though the Bristleback might not be as powerful, it isn't the domination we saw just a couple minutes earlier by Nasty Potatoes. It's shown that obviously with proper smoke and so on, you can still go for kills. However, wow, that's, I mean, we're going to mention that, but that smoke screen diffusal blade, you really have to play carefully against it. There's no other way. There's no way of really saving you unless you go for BKB. That's the only way of stopping the smoke screen diffusal blade, because the Tinker has such global presence. It's even better than the Spectre that I was suggesting earlier. They're gonna try to stop Psionics TP, but it's not gonna be successful. TMT could have Hurricane Piked and actually Astro imprison him, but he had no clue. And I like the build for TMT, going for the mobility ends first, Blink Dagger, Hurricane Pike, making sure you're not gonna be died because the Tinker after all is the main source of damage anyway. And later on, now you finally gonna go or decide to go for the Silver Edge. Interesting the usage of Silver Edge. After all, the Tinker actually can go for Scythe of Ice and be much more relevant than you are with Scythe of Ice, which would be one of the items you'd go for. If it's Shivas, again, the Tinker's much more effective with Shivas, so it's better to go for these kind of items. Silver Edge, which are still useful this game, especially against a Bristleback, but I guess, you know, not the most traditional item on anything. Please laser him. Just laser him. I hit the tower. That's why you wouldn't laser him. You could have just lasered him earlier. Everyone has Blade Mail now, so they want to just counter the Tinker by going full Blade Mail build. I'm pretty sure they're not the only ones. I think the Sand King is going to get Blade Mail eventually, or maybe even the Ember Spirit. Because they can tack a lot of damage for the March of the Machines and just bring him back to Tinker, and he has no way to stop it. Now with a BKB, it's impossible. So there's actually zero counter to this Blade Mail. There's Blade Mail strategy against the Tinker. Oh wait, never mind. The BKB would block the damage, I suppose. Yes, the BKB would block the damage of the Blade Mail, but you need to have a BKB constantly used to rearm with a 5 seconds eventually, so to actually be useful. Because you have to lower the cooldown early on. Too much. Oh, Crystal Maiden, careful, the root onto her there. Oh, great silence. Great smoke screen by the Ricky. Look how she's going back into the smoke screen, knowing that she's a freezing field, and that might be your best chance to just use it. Nah, instead she's going to resign to death, letting the Timbersaw take her into the arms of the angels. And poor Crystal Maiden will die. Now the Bristleback getting the minus 40-second respawn time. Pretty good. Now that means that if he dies, it's not going to be that relevant. In fact, I think his respawn time is... no, the Silver Edge cooldown will still be a bit higher. Oh, wow. Octarine Core onto the World Divine. That's... I mean, it does give you a lot of... okay, it does give you a lot of sustain and HP region, but I would like to see some damage at this point. I don't think it's going for any damage. And extra Astral Imprisonment or extra Science Eclipse is not that much damage. Though he has been relying a lot on the Science Eclipse. You see how much damage Pondo's taking just from those Blade Mail? It's annoying. Oh, they go into Raji, find him out, but he just gets out of the smoke screen right on time and able to sandstorm his way to victory. However, careful Raji, because you could just be killed by the... oh, the OD just fans. One Astral, one Orb, and that's it. One Arcane Orb, sorry. And that's it. Ponlo trying to kill off the Ember, but it's quite hard. Everyone has Blink Daggers in this game. The Scythe of Ice has already been used. A second Scythe of Ice, and they caught him. That's a dead Ember Spirit. Even with the help of TMT here to get him off. And that is going to be another death for the Ember Spirit. 60 seconds without him. No Silver Edge onto him, meaning the Bristleback will be a bit more of a problem, especially with the minus 40-second respawn time. But at this point, all you can do is... you know, go for snowball items and continue to push. After all, it seems like the Bristleback has not been that relevant in terms of damage, right? In terms of damage output. I wish I could see damage output somehow, but he just hasn't done that too efficiently in this game. So it's better just ignore him and continue to go on with your merry way. Going for the traditional Outworld Devourer build that does a lot of damage. Oh, that was pretty good. Almost could have killed Psionics. He's going to start to hit the tower. And there it is. Psionics are seeing a lot of damage from the Arcane Orb, but not dying. The Bristleback is not as powerful anymore. Velo, oh my god, almost kills TMT, just with a Blade Mail damage. Good Astral Imprisonment. The Rock is not dropped just yet. The Heat-Seeking Missiles, now the lasers. They want to kill the Bristleback before he, goes back from being a pig. And they might be able to. The Tricks of the Trade is not available by Eden, so he can't get that finalized kill. Ponlo does kill the Golem, though. The March of the Machines to keep putting on pressure. He goes back to base, regens fully, and wants to continue fighting this team fight. Psionics has to use a Shrine and a Shadow Word to heal back up, but they're safe now. And it does seem like Nasty Potatoes will just decide to retreat. It's not worth their time to continue this team fight. They're only aiming to choke the enemy team for now. He is just completely zoned out by the March of the Machines. Look at that. Like, even if just a couple of them hit, it's already enough to almost murder him. Oh no, they found the Bristleback and they just hexed him. The Freezing Field came out. Now that's Iris Eclipse. They're about to destroy the Timber Saw. That's one dead, and the next objective is the Bristleback, and it's really easy to find him with a Diffusal Blade on. Turn him into a pig and finish him off is what Nasty Potatoes say. They collect his ham, and now they're ready to move on into the tier 3s, the prime objectives for this game. As the Tinker has also not died, just been harassing the bottom lane, can decide to TP back in and be a useful member of the team once more. He's coming in with salves as well. Look at that Tinker. Look at that Tinker go! The salves have no cooldown, so he just heals everyone back up. It's like coming up with an Earnest Shadows, but with 3 free charges. And that Sama is starting to hit this tower down. They're ready to destroy it. With the Radiant, it's actually quite hard to finish him, especially with the Radiant Solar Crest. It's too hard. And oh, in they go. Burst Strike. Sand King. So much damage he's taking just from the March of the Machines. Doesn't go down though, as the Scythe of Ice finally dispels itself. Abaddon's still alive. They even Hurricane Pike him to safety. Oh, yeah, that's a Hurricane Pike to safety. And everyone's going to back out. Everyone's going to back out. And in fact, they might want to destroy the shrines if they feel so inclined to, but after destroying Geek Fam so heavily, with only 5 Bloodstone charges into this Timber Saw, with Nasty Potatoes leading the game by 18,000 net worth, look at the Carafe, it's always with us in the favor. Close to 18,000 for both experience and the gold. And on top of that, you have heroes that actually excel in the late game as opposed to enemy team of heroes that excel in the mid game, like Bristleback. Oh, they're actually going to crash out the OG though. He has a Hurricane Pike, still has the Astral Imprisonment, needs some help from his team. In comes the Abaddon, brings in a Phonic Shield to help him out. And even the, Ag's ultimate, can't be used. I don't understand why he activated his ultimate. In fact, they just let him die. Teehee might be the next target though. They could just go into Teehee, but Tinker's a bit too afraid of going full in and trying to, committing to this. In fact, Ponlo is being searched by this Timber Saw, and this could be a really important kill. The laser, though, could come out. The Scythe of Ice onto the wrong target. He blinks away just in time. The Blade Mail comes out, and Ponlo's going to kill himself. Freezing Field, though, will put this Timber in a really difficult position as Velo's about to die. The Aphonic Shield won't finish him off, and then Sama, 1 more second to the burn time! They'll kill him just a second before! And the Hex coming onto the Sankin, they can at least finish off one of the enemy supports. Tiki doesn't get the Searing Chains off, can't stop the TP, and the Tinker will be perfectly fine. Eden wants to help his teammate out, but it's really hard. Crimson is just a poor support stuck between 2 cores. With the help of the Tinker though, one of those cores is dead, and the second one might die very soon as they have endless Scythe of Vices. This pig is not going to be able to turn back into a human. Okay, yeah, actually, yeah, he is. He is, sorry. Because Ponlo's going to continue this. He almost ran out of mana. He had to go back home. It makes sense that he's going to be done with that team fight. But that was really good. Being able to kill the Ember Spirit at the very least. They do lose the Outworld Devourer and the Abaddon and the Crystal Maiden. But granted, you kill the Ember Spirit and what, the Sanking, I think. I mean, obviously it's in favor of Geek Fam because they're winning. Or because you're winning. But it's not a bad trade at all. Being able to kill that Ember Spirit and keeping him low in terms of farm. Sure, if Velo gets farm, who cares? If Bristleback gets farm, who cares? Not late game carries. Especially with the build they're going for. Look at this Vanguard Solar Crest build. It's a mid-game build. Now it's 40 minutes in. Your Outworld Devourer has Octarine Core and is soon to get BKB. Your Tinker is God. And what do you do against them? Absolutely nothing. Even the BKB Psionics is quite weak against this Tinker. Because obviously the BKB only lasts so long. Not because obviously they can't do any damage to them long as BKBs are. This is a dead Timber Saw. I mean, this is an endless Scythe of Ice. Okay, they don't want to follow this. Is it because they don't see anyone else on the map? It might be because of that. They don't see anyone else on the map. They didn't know that Timbers was alone, and they could have helped him any time. So Tinker doesn't want to sacrifice himself. It's very wise to do that. In fact, not only the respawn timer quite long on you, it's almost 100 seconds. It's 90 seconds currently on the Tinker. But on top of that, you are worth a lot of gold. Your top net worth by 5,000, 6,000 difference from the Bristleback. You're a good, a good 3,000 difference from the Timber Saw. Psionics with the Hurricane Pike. They could have just set up the Astral Imprisonment, but the Tinker is going to manage to TP. Yeah, and he's also going to fight this easy Ember. Unless the Ember Center comes in, Bonlo in trouble. Has to somehow blink away. They'll root him though. Bonlo might just die here. The Timber Saw joins in, and now it's a team fight. They can't back out from this now. TMT starts firing. The BKBs come out. The Tricks of the Trade as well at the same time. They start at the Outworld Devourer. This was a terrible mistake for Nasty Potatoes. Outworld Devourer has to use his own BKB. He's done the Chinese Eclipse, mind you, and can start healing back up. Starts hitting Psionics. Psionics uses the Blade Mail, and the Freezing Field's about to destroy this Timber Saw. They can't stop her as the BKB ensures that the Crystal Maiden will survive forever. And this Crystal Maiden will kill off the Ember Spirit and the Timber Saw in the same Freezing Field. Now they're going to go on to Psionics. The illusions are giving them vision of him. There's a Blink Dagger and a Hurricane Pike, so you can definitely chase it, but in the end they decided not to. Okay, instead going for the Roshan, much more valuable objective. And wow, that was fantastic Freezing Field by Crimson. It took me a while to realize, but they keep getting the Ember Spirit and the Timber Saw stuck in the Freezing Field in some way or another, like either the Frostbite or the Smoke Screen comes out, whatever it is, and then boom, boom, Freezing Field, just Ice Shard over Ice Shard on top of your head. Nothing you can do against that, obviously, because the attack is way too, it deals way too much damage at this point, at 250 damage per hit. You can, with a BKB, you can't stop her either, so you have to literally kill her, and concentrating your efforts onto a Crystal Maiden at this point in the game is a terrible idea. She even went for the extra 120 gold per minute, allowing her to get a great Freezing Field, even better of a Zone Out spell. So, for those of you who don't know, the Yags onto the Freezing Field actually gives it so that, makes it so that, if they're there for more than, what I think it's 2.5 seconds, you get the, or 2.5 seconds, you get a Frostbite. So that means that Smoke Screen plus Freezing Field is a great combo as an extra Frostbite onto your team. And if you go for the extra Frostbite duration, that's pretty much a permanent Frostbite within the Freezing Field. That's really good. Now, let's see. The Shrine. Oh, never mind. Now it seems like Tinker's in trouble, but Pablo's healing a lot with the extra spell lifesteal. That's a really good talent to grab rather than the 100 laser damage. It gives him so much sustain, and he finds Raji anyway. They know where he is. Oh, they might find Tiki as a result. In comes Ponlo. Ponlo can't stop him. They know Tiki's around, and Tiki just sacrificed himself with the Sleight of Fist. They had no clue that Tiki was there. In fact, Quicksilver's going to him was what made them think that Tiki was also joining them, because he could have just TP'd in time. However, he didn't have a TP, and that's something they didn't know. He also had a Remnant, but the Remnant was right here, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that was a questionable play by both the Crixolus and, sorry, both the Sand King, new names in Dota 2, and the Ember Spirit. Oh well. Look at that damage. Oh, that just with a normal Hurricane Pike, he even prevents the damage with the Astral Imprisonment, so the Blade Mail doesn't hurt him too much. He keeps hitting him, just wants to steal the intelligence. In comes the Timber Saw. Timber Saw has his own Blade Mail, but the OD can use the BKB, going to Psionics, and the BKBs are being popped by everyone. Now the Golem, that's a 1 second stun to TMT, but he's still alive and kicking. Now Burrow time from the Abaddon. They want to kill 10-10, but the Ricky doesn't have enough damage just yet. The Berserk will actually catch him, and the Chakram will finish him off. Psionics Eclipse though destroys almost everything. Now the Freezing Field comes out. Just a great zone out spell here. They don't even need it for the damage. Velo is about to die to the damage from Outworld Devourer, and that Golem is as good as dead. Only thing left here is a Bristleback. They finally trigger the Aegis. That's going to be all the stacks he gathered in this team fight lost, but he's already used the Psionics Eclipse, so what does he care? Psionics is dead already as they get a kill onto this Bristleback, preventing some of the damage from the Timber himself. Ponlo needs to go back to base. Oh, but they're going to catch him. The Epicenter not being used. Raji actually wasting the whole Epicenter. Crimson using the Frostbite onto this Timber Saw. And now they're trying to catch up Ponlo. He's the best option. He tries to pick up his Blink Dagger back again. But TMT wants to help his teammate out. Almost helps him by killing Raji. But Teehee will be the victim in this aggression as Raji, the secondary. Nope, he's actually going to survive. TMT wants to keep on fighting. Survives Velo's damage. So has a BKB. If Velo just goes straight up onto him, he can use the BKB. And Raji with the Sandstorms is being so goddamn annoying. Those Berserks plus Sandstorms is making it so that nobody can, or he never dies against that's the Potatoes team. In the end, they take no racks. They only take a 3-3, was already down, so they didn't actually take it the whole in this engagement. And they don't bring down any surprisingly good kills, unfortunately for them. Nice work, Potato, they say. Yeah, Potato's playing pretty well. Potato's pretty well. As they say, Copter 2011. Shiva's available onto the Outworld Devourer very shortly. No, in fact, he already has it. He bought it. Fuck buyback. Why do you need that? What is buyback? Never heard of that. The shield is alright. I guess they're replacing the Hood of Defiance, getting a more armor against the Bristleback. But really, your only concern right now is the Timbersaw. The Bristleback has been completely nullified this game. And even the Timbersaw is not that powerful. It's mostly his Blade Mail because you can't kill him too soon. And now he's going to go for a Dagon, which is a wise choice against an Outworld Devourer that has a decent strength gain. Actually, 2.3 strength gain, to get a perspective, is bigger than Bristleback's. It's 0.1 bigger than Bristleback's. It's bigger than Timbersaw's for sure. And I'm not mistaken, it's bigger than Sand King's, which is 2.0. Oh, 2.6, never mind, I was wrong. Regardless, the Outworld Devourer is able to get a decent amount of strength per level, so it's not it's a force to be reckoned with, especially with the Dagon. It's not going to be that useful against him, but does giving you that extra piece of damage sometimes might guarantee you the kill, so I understand the pickup regardless. Let's see, this Sama is going to be taking down some stacks of Ancients with the Aphotic Shield, and the Curse of Avernus. Not only does he now take damage, but he also deals a ridiculous amount of damage to the enemy team. TMT, careful. The Hurricane Pike uses Psionics, Blade Mail from Psionics, and they catch out the Outworld Devourer. There's a Solo Crest from him. Careful, TMT. He's being healed considerably though. Even with a Veil of Discord, he actually helps his damage considerably, so he should be fine. In the middle lane, they're trying to steal some intelligence from this Bristleback. That's the whole point of using this Hurricane Pike, right? To steal intelligence. But it's a wasted opportunity. Silence is gonna be fine. And the end. Do they have a Lotus Orb somewhere? No, not Lotus Orb yet. In fact, I like the Lotus Orb more than the. I like the Lotus Orb better on this Timbersaw, but whatever. It's still a useful. It's not like Dagon's bad, but I think Lotus Orb would have been much more effective here. From that Sama. Oh, Psionic still getting down a lot of damage. A Yule Scepter catching out TMT, and the Solar Crest will help him out. And once you put the Solar Crest into the Outworld Devourer, it's like, okay guys, we forced it, come back, we can't kill this asshole. He's too tanky. Too tanky. Polo right now is just trying to push this lane up top, which I really like this idea to not necessarily split push, but to put pressure in a lot of lanes, keep them all pushed with a Tinker, utilizing pretty well. I mean, he can even go bottom and do the same thing. And meanwhile, the rest of the team just kind of stays in this standoff in the middle lane where they can push the lane decently. And the whole point of this standoff is just to not let the enemy team farm too much. As you can see, the Tinker's just going around, you know, one lane to another. And whenever the Tinker leaves a lane, Tihi just has to join it. But this time now it's a trap, as Death Sama is ready for this kill, and they're ready to take down Tihi. With the Scythe of Ice, it's honestly too easy a kill. The Scythe of Fist to take him out, and he'll leave. He'll leave in time. Good job, Tihi. Your enemy was about to die, so that was either you leave or you die, so I guess he made the right choice. Good job, Tihi. And pushing out the lanes is very important now. That's what the usage of Maelstrom is for. I can only imagine maxing out the Mjolnir so early is because you want to push out the lanes and try to counter this Tinker. Oh no, that's a dead. Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, Sand King. The only thing that could save you there is a misplay by Pondo. If they catch you in a bad position with a set device, it's a perma stun, and there's no enemy, there's no team to help you out. Meanwhile, the smoke from the Crystal Maiden is unsuccessful. I think that was just a smoke to get a bit more speed, and that's not the best of ideas for a smoke, especially later in the game where it's much more valuable. But whatever, they will be putting some pressure to this tower or to his Rax now, defending against this Sama. He still has borrowed time. In fact, that might be why they want to get the Dagon. Oh, 10-10, careful. Could have died just to the heat-seeking missiles. In fact, it might just die to the heat-seeking missiles. Nope, one more hit will do the trick. That's 10-10 then. Tiki might be the next one to die. The Osiris Eclipse being used. And Velo using the BKB as soon as it comes out of pig form, because TMT is dealing way too much damage. They force a buyback onto December Spirit. And now it's time to leave. They don't want to lose TMT. That's the important part. Psionics with the Blade Mail is dealing a lot of damage to the enemy team, but at the same time, since he couldn't turn his back, he just got destroyed. This Timbersaw suffers the same fate, and that's 2 dead. The 2 cores dead. Is there going to be a dieback? There was a dieback for the Ember Spirit. Polo just killed him in the backlines, and now they're trying to go onto this Timbersaw, but Polo is running out of mana. He's gonna have to TP back home and heal up, as the Timbersaw is becoming more of a nuisance rather than anything else. The ProDota available onto that Sama in a couple more seconds. Raji now joining in, going into this Outworld Devourer. He has no way to heal himself back up. He's the Octarine Core. Wait, never mind. He's actually still alive. They're saving him thanks to the Abaddon, and now he's gonna go onto the. No, the Timbersaw is already dead. They can't kill him in time. They can't heal the Abaddon. Or the, sorry, they can't heal the Outworld Devourer. Polo might just die to the tap fountain. That would be horrendous. Please save him. Good job. Polo's still alive. And with that, they'll be able to take a couple more towers. There's been 2 diebacks already. Timbersaw and this Bristleback. And the third one to use a dieback will be the Sand King, as he kills the Ricky in the process, but at the same time sacrifices himself. With this, the guys Nasty Potatoes will be able to take another lane of Rax and even throw him, but they're deciding to go for Rax as a safer option, apparently, and easier for them to take, as they lose less if the enemy team responds and kills them completely. Tinker will come back any second. In fact, Polo's just putting pressure with the March of the Machines, a bit of zoning out. TMT using that help from Death Sama to just take these Rax relatively slowly, but hey, they're still taking them. And look at this Tinker zone, it's really good with the March of the Machines preventing the Berserk from doing absolutely anything. All Nasty Potatoes have to do is take this last tier 3 and they'll have Mega Creeps, and that's like pretty much a guaranteed GG for them, as the enemy team doesn't really have many ways to defend against Mega Creeps, and they can even win another team fight if they're not careful. The Ricky might need to buy back here. Tinker now coming back to Crimson's arms. Crimson with an axe, by the way, which I've loved. We haven't been able to see a crit freezing field, so whatever, it still worked out. And Bristle back, being turned into a pig, and they want to kill him quickly. However, TMT is taking a lot of damage. The body block not going to be good enough. Psionics not using his blade mill. Death Someone's going to start healing up completely thanks to the fountain with a burrow time. But they're going to go into the Bristle back, and they want the damn, but Psionics! It lasts way too long right now, and in fact, near the fountain is too hard to kill him. There's an offensive force staff. That might be the time to kill the Bristleback. This will be the last dieback they can have. And bye-bye to the Bristleback. Frostbane forever with the extra 1.5 seconds, and now the extra freezing field. He has to buy back, and this will be the last buyback the enemy team has. Polo cannot even go home, though, as the root stops him from doing so. And these racks are so close to dying. The catapults will end up doing their job, and the Mega Creeps are available for the Nasty Potatoes team. Now finding out the poor Abaddon, who's really tanky, but mind you, he has to die eventually. The Aphotic Shield won't save him here, and Geek Fam come back for a couple more minutes, though losing everything, and now facing Mega Creeps. They still have the faith, and they still want to win this game. Is it going to be possible for them? I don't know, as Nasty Potatoes are leading by 39,000 net worth. They have the Mega Creeps. They have, I mean, 52 minutes in is not as relevant. The experience difference is not that big. It's only 10,000, but the gold difference is ridiculous. Thanks to all those talents, those Midases, and obviously those kills that have been leading them into victory. I haven't decided to go for the extra Aphotic Shield strength. Of course he did. That'd be ridiculous otherwise. Plus 60 orb steal. That's a good idea. Sold the Veil Disco already. Alvaro Devour with the Lincoln is much more useful. We also just noticed, I think it was Abaddon who spot his Aghanims. Yeah, that's going to give him a lot more teamfight potential. That's really good, important. You see Ricky in the backlines just trying to see, okay, I'm going to catch him from behind if necessary, but there might be a gem on the enemy team. Yeah, the gem's on the Warlock, so Ricky has to be played really careful, only using the screens as cover, but not being seen by anyone else. They force a buyback on the Abaddon, which is okay. They have to pretty much push high ground at this point, or push throne, or else they're screwed. So it makes sense they're playing so aggressively. That's how much going to put some pressure out. They finally take the tier 3. They have to retreat, but they need to punish this. The guys from Nasty Potatoes can punish this after all. Go on to 10-10. The solo crest onto him. He took to the trade. He has to sacrifice the golem. That's a dead Warlock. And now Velo, if they catch him out, not only is he out of Bloodstone charges, but he's out of buyback. Velo will just die mercilessly to Nasty Potatoes lineup. And how are they supposed to defend this now without a Timber side? It's time for them to just go in the mid lane and destroy the enemy team. With Ponlo joining in, actually going in the bottom lane. Surprise, it's a smoke Tinker. They did see that though. They should have seen that at the very least. Seems like they didn't. Oh, Death Sama. With an Aphotic Shield, he comes in, gets into the Searing Chains. Sama is careful. Yeah, it didn't work that Sama. That's not going to work on him. He doesn't care about you, Psionics. Really. He has an Aphotic Shield that heals, gives him 500 health every single time. He's fine. Crimson going for a Dead Slater for extra pushing power. Yes, please do, Crimson. And Psionics will die now. No! The BKB saved his life and no Arcane Orb, so... because he could have used the Arcane Orb, so the lack of damage saved his life. There's the Epicenter, I think, or I heard it. No, must have missed it, or something. Because that Sand is as good as dead. They've also finished off the Warlock in just 2 hits thanks to the Sunny's Eclipse. He didn't even steal that much intelligence. Tihi wants to defend this with the Radiance, but Ponlo is already setting himself up as the wall. They kill off Tihi finally, and Psionics will be the last one to die for this team. It's a team wipe, and the GG will be called. Nasty Potatoes are taking this game. This best of 2, 2-0 against Geek Fam. Some of the favorites coming into this tournament, but Nasty Potatoes pull up their fist, stick out their middle finger, and say, screw you. We are going to be able to take this best of 2. With that, that's a great victory for Nasty Potatoes, and that's it for the day for the SCA region of this tournament. In fact, for the whole PD Cup, we're done for the day. We'll come back tomorrow, probably at 9 CEST, with some more matches. My name's been DSwordfish. I've been your caster for today. Hope you've enjoyed the cast. If you did, feel free to follow me on Twitter at DSwordfish. I'll put the link in the chat. There, I also put all the replays in case you want to rewatch any of these games. So, you know, there's my YouTube channel and everything to subscribe to. and watch the replays for these games. Or don't, I don't care. Just watch the games if you're interested. And that's it for me for today. So hope you've enjoyed the cast. And if you didn't, feel free to tell me why in the chat. And I'll see you guys very soon with some more Dota 2 gameplay. Until then. It's a small tinker. They did see that though. They should have seen that at the very least.